It's a little bit dark. Okay. Well, hello, hello. I'm here, sorry. Can you hear me now? I'm trying to get it shared. I don't know why. I struggle with that every time. Don't know. Bear with me, guys. Give me a second. Okay, maybe. I don't know. Y'all seem to be finding me. I can't get it shared on the group. Let's get this opened up. Okay. I am feeling better. Thank you. I do have some congestion. Okay, you can hear me. I couldn't get it shared on the page. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. But thank you all for joining me tonight. Let me go ahead and get started. I do apologize. There may be some coughing, but it's not too bad. So here's my binder. I talked about showing y'all how I store like all my tally sheets and stuff. So this is one example. I'm going to show you two examples. So, I have like my check sheet lists are up here in the front. Kind of handy. This is last year's. Once I tallied things, I was glad. Hi everybody. So many people. I did 188 projects, like either cards or layouts or my calendars that I make. And I was pleased because that means if I had like thought about it day-wise, I did something every other day, even though I didn't. So there was days I had the energy to do a lot of things, and there were days I had energy to do diddly squat. But it was exciting to see once I tallied it. I do write down when I go live. That's just for my records. And then the 24 cards in 2025, I did make a lot more cards than this. But as far as going along with the sketches, I write down the date of when I did it. That, instead of just checking the box, I write the date. And then those are the cards I made. Then the weekly, I didn't do too many weekly challenges. And then my layouts, I write those down. And I also have a section to store the, like, sketches. I do need to clean this out since it's a new year. And what I'll do is I'll put all of the year in one folder, one sheet protector, instead of each in their own. And then this is 52 weeks, and I also put the 10,000 member sketch in here. And what I do is I put the week that Michelle prints, and then I do the sketch on the back. And now again, I'll take them all out since it's a new year, and I'll combine them into one sheet protector. I might even move them to a different binder. I don't know. Monthly challenges, I print the calendar and the monthly challenge. Sometimes I'd rather look in this binder than get distracted by social media. And then I do have a section for the current crop, which will be the Hollywood crop coming up. But I don't have anything in there right now. Right now I had the December prompts. Okay. Now how I'm doing things right now. Make sure I got my door shut. I put the newest things in a clipboard. This is kind of my list of things to keep in mind when I want to work on a project. Different projects I want to be focusing on. Other layouts I can do. Sorry. Other crafts. Okay. And then to eventually go in the binder, I did the title, the sketch, and the checklist. And then I started writing down which cards I've done already. I haven't started filling this out yet. I tend to do that like in chunks, like at the end of the month. I'll write it on my list and then I'll mark this off. There's the calendar. The January challenge. And that's where I'll write my layouts at. And then the weekly layout, I did the title because I'll put that on the front section of the binder. And then the first challenge inspiration of 2026. Thanks, everybody. And the sketch, I'll put that on the back in the sheet. And then the checklist. And then just more paper. That's an Instagram hop that I do. And then I did write myself some notes on some Post-its. But another idea you can do, too, if you print out the challenges and stuff, is just keep them in a folder. So, what kind of fun are we going to get into tonight? Okay, I pulled out a bunch of stuff because somebody was talking about a list of things and you pull from that list to see what you're doing. Yeah, I try my best to be organized. It just helps me. So, I pulled out, over a year ago, I did a few videos on TikTok. Let me make sure everything's in the frame. And I did what I was calling Roll to Create. I wrote down a bunch of themes, and I didn't do 20 because that just would be too many to try to figure out in a live. I wrote down 10. We're going to roll a die to see what we get. Embellishments. Well, I don't know if this is what you were asking about, Sherry, but hopefully you enjoy it. And I did, when I made these, I just made like a blank sheet, and I just embellished it with stickers. I did some stamping and stenciling, and then I used Doodlebug to embellish it. And if anybody wants to join along, you're welcome to create something the way I created, or with the things that I use. And then tools listed there, and then colors. And I'm not sure what order to do these in, so yeah. Let me get the dice out. I think you all can see okay. Let me know if you can't. These are just like role-playing tabletop game dice. Some people use them for D&D and other tabletop games. Okay, so for this one, I need a D10, which I believe is this one. We are going to be making a card. Hopefully that matches the sketch. Okay, this one is our D10. So we could get sympathy, congrats, wedding and anniversary, thank you, birthday, get well soon, Valentine, hello, or just because, floral, and then my choice. So bear with me. Bear with me here. Let's see. We got a 7, which means Valentine. Oh, that worked out too perfect. Okay, I had a pen. Let's see. Valentine. I'm going to write that down. I do not trust myself to remember. Okay. So for theme, we're going Valentine. We're going to make a card, Anna. We're going to make a card. Trust the process. Trust the process. Okay. Let's see. For embellishments, we can use brads, twine, sprinkly bits, ribbon, washi tape, or my choice. And for that, we need a D6, which is regular. Type of die that probably everybody's used to. And we got a 6. My choice. So for my choice, I think I'm gonna choose washi tape. Because I can pull out some Vicky Bouton washi tape, I think. Alright. This is tools. Now, we may have to use an embossing folder, an embossing powder, a thin lid or a die cut, stencils, pattern paper, background stamp, letter stamp, or a punch. Again, this is going to be interesting. So this is an 8. I think this is my 8. My D8. Does it go? Yes. Okay. Alright. And we got a 7. Letter stamps. Okay. Maybe do the word love with letter stamps. Okay. Let's get rid of that one. And now colors. Oh boy, this is where it's going to get interesting. So we have pink, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, gray, white, black, brown, and my choice. I'm glad you all like it. Okay, so for this one we need the D12, which is, I think it's this one. I should have had these lined up. Let's see. 2, 3, yeah, okay, here we go. Oh, nope. It's got to go in the dice tower. Ooh, what did we get? Number 8. Gray. Okay. So, I can use other colors. I can't. No, Anna, it's not gambling. Sweetie, it's not gambling. You don't have to pick one ahead of time, unless you want to. I roll the die and see which one I get, and then that's the one I have to use. I can use other things. Like, even though we got letter stamps, if I wanted to use an embossing folder, I could also use that. But I just have to make sure I use at least these 4 things on my card. There are creators on TikTok who, one of them that I like to give for an example is, Adventures in Ardia. He does roll for sandwich. So he rolls a die to see what each element of his, what kind of bread he's going to use, what kind of, toppings he's going to have, what kind of meat he's going to have. And he can come up with some crazy concoctions because it's up to the dice what he puts on his sandwich. Okay, I did cut some card bases, but since we have to use gray, now see, this is where it's going to take a second to gather the supplies. This is, or let's look at this paper. Hold on. I don't know if that counts as gray. I pulled out just a bunch. I don't know what I have that's actually available in the shop. I pulled out some 6x8 pads. Those are always good for making cards. I do need to get out some washi tape. And letter stamps. I think I know which letter stamps I want to use. And I think they're on my table. Yes. At one time, I know Michelle had these available. Oh my gosh, there's the word love. Look at that. Let me get the sketch out. And then we need washi tape. So let me find where that is. Bear with me, bear with me. Okay, I pulled some Vicky Boot and washi tape. All right. Now let's cut. Let's see. How do I want to do this? How do I want to do this? I don't have to use this paper. Let me get a gray piece just in case. This is perfect. I'm glad you like it. I'm glad you all are enjoying it. It's definitely very different. Doing something where I just kind of piled some stuff and I don't know what I am really going to end up using. It's definitely very different to do on a live. Okay. Let me fold this. I'm going to start with my card base just because this is such a different way of doing things. Okay. Let me move this paper for right now because I think I want to layer some washi tape down here for the stripes. This gives us our gray. Trying to pull some washi tape. This is print shop washi tape. I would do the hearts as the stripes on the bottom. There's a washi tape with the hearts. Do you mean that or do you mean the paper, Jessica? I have to use washi tape though. I have to make sure that's one of my parameters that I rolled with the dice. I could like alternate. I could do the hearts, these hearts with like the blue in between. Okay, so let's cut this down to, we need a ruler. Four and a quarter. Okay. So let's cut that a little bit lower. I don't really know what measurements these are, so I'm just kind of, there's that one. Then we could do that there. I'm just kind of putting it on there lightly. And then let me cut another strip. A pretty thin one. Oh, that didn't cut straight. Okay. Hold on, let me do that again. I know you can't see what I'm doing when I'm cutting. Okay. Hi, Deb. Okay. So there's that. Okay. I do want to move that washi tape down a bit. I want those closer together. Okay. And I pulled out some hearts, but that might be a little too big. I was thinking of putting hearts up here. Let's move that out the way. That's a little bit big though. When I put those on, I'm going to put those on pretty close together. Okay, let me see how big the love is on here. These were available at one point in the shop. I don't know if there's any left. Love might actually be a really good size for that. Okay. But I think I want to stamp it on paper and cut it out. So, I also pulled out acetate, but none of it would go with this. So, I'm not going to use that. But where is my paper? Where did I put my paper? Over here. I think I want to do it on a type of bluish. Let's see what I got here. Kind of tie in that blue. Oh, let's see what. Oh, well, we have that piece already. Let's see what else is in here. Blue, blue, blue. Something navy. Nope. Okay. That's okay. I think we're going to get it to go up here. Move that over. All it takes is one live to mess up the whole room. I need a clear block and ink. Yeah, I think I want to stamp it on there and cut it out. The light blue strip. Oh, that's a good idea too. That's a good idea. It would coordinate with the hearts, wouldn't it? Okay. Let me get then a darker blue ink to go on to, oh, that one's probably not quite rainforest. Nope. Let's go with Arctic Blitz. Yeah. Okay. Let's move this over here. Okay, so we have our gray. We have our washi tape. We are using our letters here. We're kind of cheating the system. It's a letter stamp set, but we're just picking one of the words off of it. What was our fourth thing? Letter stamps, gray. Oh, and Valentine. It has to be Valentine. Or Valentine themed. Okay. We've got everything covered. Oh, yeah. Perfecto. Perfecto. Close the ink pad. How's everybody doing? How's your new year treating you so far? Okay, I need to die cut this out. That is in here. Right there. Move that there. Move that over. And I'll get my Big Shot. Keep it off to the side. It is a little bit dusty. All right. Get all that on there. I am going to put a little bit of washi tape on here so it stays, because it is cutting out an outlet. You could also use the thinlits, especially for the letters, without the stamps. Back to work this week. Yeah, I went back to work yesterday. Yeah. Still, I wear a mask, though, because I don't think people, even though I've been cleared, I'm not contagious, I don't think people want me coughing on them. Okay, put this here. And send it on through. Cleaned my garage, closet, and craft space. Travel to Louisiana and celebrate. Anna, you wear me out. You wear me out. But you look like you have so much fun. So just keep doing what you're doing. Keep being who you are, okay? All right. Move that out of the way. Let's start assembling this. Oh, look how cute that is. So cute. All right, let me get my glue. Right, and right. She's the spirit animal. Yeah, I want to be like her when I grow up. If I could just have that much energy. And of course, we're on live, so it's not going to cooperate. I used this thing all throughout December to make my Christmas cards, to make my calendars. And now it doesn't want to cooperate. I was even using it the other day to make a card. What in the world? Okay. We will get a different glue bottle. See if this one will work. You were on vacation. Oh, well, I'm glad you got a vacation. Let's see if I can get this one to work. Art glitter glue in the winter? Probably not. Nope, that one's empty. Where is my... Barely art glue? What is the deal? It does have that effect on glue. I don't want to open my new Nuvo yet. Okay, let's see. Boy, oh boy. Well, just have to get out the other thing.